Hi everyone, and welcome to this review note. In this clip, we are going to be looking at port roles in a spanning tree network. My topology setup, I've got a distribution switch, which is my root bridge, and then I have 3 edge switches. If you look at the color of the links, we can see that everything appears to be enabled and transmitting, all 3 on the distribution switch, the server switch, this guy going from desktop 2 up, and then the link between the 2 desktop switches. This is the only one that is not transmitting. So let's take a look at the configuration and find out what's going on with that. First, I'm going to look at the distribution switch, which is my root bridge. And I still have the show spanning tree command from before. If you look at the state, or sorry, not the state, but the role, we can see that every one of the ports that is connected to a downstream switch is a designated port. That means that the root bridge is sending traffic out of all 3 of these ports to the switches that are connected. If we look at the cost of those links, the 2 that are gigabit links are cost 4. That's the default, and that hasn't been changed. And the fast Ethernet port is 19. Again, that's the default, and that hasn't been changed. Let's find out what's going on here with desktop 2. Again, I've got the command still up from before showing spanning tree. In this case, we have gigabit 1, which is the root role. That's this port here that connects up onto the distribution switch. And then I've also got gigabit 2, which is designated port role, and that's the one that is connected over on the desktop 1. What's happening is all of the traffic flow is going from root up to the distribution switch. So that's the actual flow of the traffic. Also, with respect to getting over to desktop 1, this designated port is the one where the traffic is flowing between desktop 1 and desktop 2. So all of the traffic that would be on any devices connected onto the desktop 1 switch would flow through the link over to desktop 2 and then up onto the distribution switch. Again, the cost of these is both 4. That's the default for gigabit. And the last one I want to look at here is desktop 1. And I'll connect onto this guy and show span. And we can see in this particular case that the root is going from gigabit 2. That is the one that's connecting over onto this guy. And the cost for that is 4. There's also gigabit 1, which is an alternate mode. So we know there's another path to get to the root bridge, which flows through this port, which is also gigabit. But notice that the cost on this one is 19, because up on the distribution switch, that is a fast Ethernet port at 100 megabits per second rather than a gigabit port. So as a result of that, the lowest cost to get from this switch up to the distribution switch is going to be going this way, where I've got a cost of 4 and a cost of 4, so a total path cost of 8, rather than going this way, which is a path cost of 19. And again, the role alternate, meaning that I know that I can take this path in order to get to the root bridge, but I'm not using it because it's a higher cost than the path that I actually have in place. That's it for looking at the different roles for ports in spanning tree network. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and we'll see you next time.